The air hung heavy and still in Rendlesham Forest. It was December 26, 1980. The Christmas festivities were a fading memory, replaced by an unsettling quiet. The ancient trees stood like sentinels guarding secrets. Then a crackle. A voice broke the silence. A security patrol reported strange lights in the forest. An unidentified object had descended from the night sky. The report was met with skepticism and concern. Was it a prank? A case of mistaken identity or something more? A small team of US Air Force personnel was dispatched to investigate. Armed with flashlights and walkie-talkies, they plunged into the darkness. The forest floor was damp beneath their boots. The further they ventured, the heavier the atmosphere grew. The men moved cautiously, their senses on high alert. The beam of their flashlights cut through the darkness, momentarily illuminating the undergrowth and the silent, watchful trees. The earlier radio chatter had ceased, replaced by an unsettling static that only heightened the tension. They were alone, swallowed by the vast emptiness of the forest. The temperature seemed to drop, sending a shiver down their spines.
Then a flicker of light. Not the steady beam of our flashlights, but something far more ethereal. It pulsed softly in the distance like a beacon amidst the trees.
The men froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. One of them, a young airman named John Burroughs, felt a surge of adrenaline. This was no ordinary light. This was something different, something inexplicable. They exchanged uneasy glances, a silent question hanging in the air. Could this be what they were sent to find? As they approached the source of the light, the air grew noticeably warmer. It was an unnatural heat, radiating outwards in waves. John could feel a tingling sensation on his skin, as if charged with static electricity. His breath caught in his throat as the light resolved itself into a shape, a triangular craft hovering silently above the forest floor. Its surface was smooth and featureless, yet it pulsed with an otherworldly glow. The men watched in stunned silence, their minds struggling to process what their eyes were seeing.
I felt a strange pull towards the object, a compulsion I couldn't explain. I took a step forward, then another, drawn irresistibly towards the glowing triangle. I reached out a hand, my fingers trembling, and felt an intense heat radiating from its surface. A searing pain shot up my arm, forcing me to recoil. I stumbled back, clutching my hand to my chest, my eyes wide with fear and wonder. The next few hours were a blur of confusion and fear. My hand, throbbing with agonizing pain, was overcome with nausea. My vision blurred and I felt a strange weakness wash over me.
John's companions, equally shaken by the encounter, helped him back to the base, their minds racing with questions. What had they seen in the forest that night? What was the source of the strange light and the intense heat? And why was John experiencing such debilitating symptoms?
The doctors at the base were baffled by John's condition. He exhibited symptoms of radiation sickness, nausea, vomiting, and a burning sensation on his skin. Yet there was no logical explanation for exposure.
The military, however, remained tight-lipped, refusing to acknowledge the incident publicly. The events of that night were quickly shrouded in secrecy, deemed classified information, but for John, the memory of the encounter, the searing pain in his hand, and the lingering fear would remain etched in his mind, a constant reminder of the night he came face to face with the unknown. Despite the official silence, whispers of the incident began to circulate. Other personnel stationed at RAF Woodbridge came forward with their own accounts of strange lights and unusual activity in the forest. They described seeing beams of light shooting into the sky and hearing strange mechanical noises emanating from the trees. One chilling account detailed a shadow figure moving swiftly and silently between the trees, its eyes glowing an eerie red in the darkness. The military, however, continued to downplay the events. They attributed the sightings to misidentified aircraft, weather phenomena, and overactive imaginations. But for those who had witnessed the events firsthand, the explanations rang hollow. They knew what they had seen. They had felt the heat, heard the sounds, and experienced the fear. Something unexplained had occurred in Rendlesham Forest that night, something that defied rational explanation, and the truth, whatever it may be, remained hidden, locked away in classified files and the memories of those who were there. Years later, declassified documents began to emerge, shedding a sliver of light on the events of that December night. Among them were reports from military investigators who had visited the site. They had used Geiger counters to measure radiation levels, and the results were startling. The area where the triangular craft had been sighted showed significantly higher levels of radiation than the surrounding forest. This data was further corroborated by declassified heat maps of the area, which showed a distinct heat signature persisting for days after the encounter. The heat maps, captured by military satellites equipped with infrared sensors, displayed a digital readout of the temperature variations in the forest. The area where the object had hovered glowed an alarming red, indicating abnormally high temperatures. These readings, impossible to explain away as natural phenomena, lent further credence to the witnesses' accounts. The evidence, though fragmented and incomplete, painted a picture of an event far more extraordinary than the official narrative suggested. Decades after the Rendlesham Forest incident, the truth remains elusive. Was it a misidentified aircraft, a weather anomaly, or something entirely different? The unexplained lights, the intense heat, the radiation symptoms, and the persistent silence from official sources all point towards an encounter with the unknown. The event continues to fascinate and intrigue, a testament to the enduring power of the unexplained. Today, the Rendlesham Forest incident stands as one of the most compelling UFO sightings in history. It serves as a stark reminder that there are still mysteries in our world that defy easy explanation. The investigation continues, fueled by the hope that one day the truth will be revealed. Until then, the events of that December night will remain an enigma, a puzzle waiting to be solved, a whisper in the woods that echoes through time.